Welcome. This is a Vistek medical training for good documentation practices. Every employee is required to follow these guidelines to ensure that our customer and regulatory requirements are satisfied. The purpose of this procedure is to ensure documents are consistent, traceable, legible, and accurate. Remember that our customers and regulatory agencies will constantly audit our documentation. If they can't read it, or is not clear, it may be considered not done. Also, regulatory agencies also expect consistency on how we handle documentation. What is GDP and why do we need to comply? GDP stands for Good Documentation Practices. Our customers are regulated by the FDA, which means our customers expect us to follow the same guidelines. The device history record, DHR, RADers, inspection sheets, certificates, etc. is just as important as the parts themselves. Remember, if the documentation is unacceptable, the parts may be rejected, even if they are machined perfectly. These requirements apply to all engineering, manufacturing, and quality documents. If it has a document control number, form, SOP, etc. or job number on it, then this procedure applies to it. Every Vistek employee shall follow these guidelines and take steps to resolve discrepancies if they occur. Check documentation as you receive it. Remember that you are the customer when you receive documentation or parts, and should reject them if something looks wrong. Prior operations in the radar or fields and forms must be filled out before you start the step. If a documentation error is noticed, first try to resolve it with the person who last performed the operation. If that's not possible, immediately alert your supervisor. When your operation is complete, fill in the necessary documentation as it's completed in real time. Real time means as soon as it happens, not a day later. Try to use plain, simple words, and common sense. Try to limit the use of company-specific terms, such as special jargon, or something that only Vistek employees would understand. Use page numbers to address multiple page documents to alert the reader that there is more to the current page. Entries need to be clear and legible, so try not to scribble. Use permanent black or blue ink. Do not use pencils, correction fluid, or correction tape. Do not use ditto marks for measured data, such as inspected dimensions. Do not leave any empty spaces. This includes headings and forms or unused entries in inspection sheets. When the entry is not applicable, such as tool ID, for visual inspection, make sure you write NA. If you did not inspect for some reason, write did not inspect or DNI, and write an explanation on the bottom of the page.